Hi folks, my name is Tatiana. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Ethereal Entertainer. Today we're going to be doing some January 2023 predictions with some tarot cards for each astrological sign. This deck I'm featuring is the True Heart Intuitive Tarot by Rachel True. Absolutely love this deck. I got it as a gift for my birthday and I just had to share it with you. It's such a beautiful deck. Also, the book is very handy dandy. It has some pretty lengthy descriptions of the major arcana, different kinds of tarot card spreads that you can do. Very beginner friendly if you're looking for a first deck of yourself or just a deck in general. I highly recommend this one. Absolutely love it. So we're also going to be pulling an oracle card for this month's predictions of January 2023. The deck that I'm featuring, I featured in my readings for last month. It's called The Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. The guidebook is also very helpful. I love how she describes the cards and she includes soul inquiries and things like that. It's very cool. Help you tap into your high vibe self. So this bracelet I'm wearing is from my Etsy shop, The Ethereal Construct, made by yours truly. This bracelet features rhodonite, strawberry quartz, and matte crackle quartz beads. Feel free to check it out to see if you can find yourself some metaphysical jewelry to help you bring in the new year with great vibes and set good intentions. Yeah, let's get started. Okay, Pisces, we're going to get into your sun card placement. We have the Five of Swords in reverse. So in the upright position, the Five of Swords is representative of conflict and disagreement. In the reversal position, this has to do with conflict resolution. So you may have recently been dealing with conflict or are currently dealing with conflict within a relationship or just not seeing eye to eye in the career front. It could be a plethora of things and that this may apply to, but seeing it in the reversal position, resolution is on its way. Either it's already started to resolve or you may see it resolve in the very near future, and you play a role in this for sure. So this has to do with communication. Again, the swords has to do with the tongue. Tongue is mightier than the sword. That's how I always think of the minor arcana sword. This has to do with communication. So you may play a role in this in your ability to communicate your side and how you're feeling, communicating, where you're coming from and your stance on the situation. And you may find that this results in the situation being resolved. So speaking your truth, but also being careful with your deliverance and how you say what it is that you want to express. And this may help bring some peace to a situation that was tumultuous for some period of time for you. So moving on to the moon placement, we have the Queen of Cups card. This card is representative of emotional nurturing and understanding, openness, willingness to communicate and to be present. So this may look like someone in your life, or you may be this person in this circumstance. You may be, offering, your advice or your emotional presence to some friends or family, people you care about, and it's greatly appreciated. You may also find that there's someone in your life who is offering this to you that you're very appreciative of. This may come in a time of, great need, where you do need to speak to somebody. You need somebody to be willing to listen to you and understand you and see your point of view and just have some empathy for whatever it is that you're dealing with right now. So You may have, something on your mind, something that you want to talk about that's on your chest, and maybe you're not comfortable or don't know if you can talk to somebody about this. This card is pointing you in the direction of, yes, it definitely is a good idea for you to communicate how you're feeling, and to communicate it to someone has that emotional space and intelligence to get you. This may look like your best friend, somebody who every time you talk to them, they just know how you're feeling. They just get you off the rip. This card is saying that's definitely the move for you right now. That's what you need, and you should definitely go for it. You will find that it brings you some solace, and it helps you feel comforted right now, because you need that. Alternatively, it could be that you are this person for someone else, and you may find somebody's, phoning you real soon, or sending you a text like, hey, I need some advice, or I need somebody I can vent to. And, just be understanding of how significant being there for someone in that way really is, because you never really know the weight of what someone is going through and how it really impacts them and affects their day-to-day life, affects their mental health, their physical health, emotional, spiritual health. Being able to talk to someone and express how they're feeling, and to be genuinely understood and held in an emotional way, really does help in a tremendous way. You're capable of this right now. Definitely understand the gravity of what it is that you offer and what you have. It means a lot. So moving on to our rising placement card, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So the Queen of Swords looks like an individual who knows how to communicate what it is that they're needing or wanting in an effective manner, whether it's communicating ideas, being able to bring people together, and being able to do so in a very mature and well-versed manner. So in the reversal position, we're looking at an individual who has a very sharp tongue. So they know how to use their tongue, or maybe they don't. Maybe they don't realize the impact of what it is that they're saying, but it's not a very positive one. It's a negative one, and it may be criticism, judgment. It may be, harsh words. This person may be communicating, maybe because they're on the defense about something, they have something going on, and it's causing them to be a little mean, a little bitter in the way that they communicate. This could be representative of yourself, or maybe someone close to you and that you are in communication with. And the thing is about that is realizing, when we're communicating in that way, where is it really coming from? Whether it be ourselves or other people. A lot of the time when we're communicating in a mean, crash, blunt way, it's because we're hurt. There's something there. There's something that's going on that's bothering us, and we're on the defense because we feel vulnerable. It's not a sign of strength when we're communicating this in this way. Ironically, it's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of pain. It's a sign of vulnerability, and we have to recognize and empathize, have compassion when we are dealing with people like this. It's really hard to, right? And the best thing sometimes is to walk away from those people who communicate this way, or, just give the situation and give that person space, but also be willing to have that compassion and understand that they might have something going on that they are not comfortable with communicating, so they're on the defense like this. This could look like a friend who's been, maybe they've been pretty short with you lately, and, usually communication is good, but lately they're short with you, and they have an attitude, and you're just like, what did I do? Maybe it's not necessarily you. It could be something else that's going on in their life, and it's coming through in the way that they're communicating with you. Or this could be you, and other people are telling you, hey, why you gotta be so mean? Or why do you have such an attitude? Or why are you coming off this way? And you gotta really be honest with yourself. is there something going on? Is there something that's bothering you? Maybe you're communicating with someone who you feel like doesn't listen to you, so your tongue is a little sharper because you don't feel heard, you don't feel listened to. And I get it because it's like when you're frustrated with someone and their inability to hear you, to listen to you, you're just like, okay, well, obviously if I'm saying it this way and I'm nice, it's not working, so let me try a different way of communicating. But that's not always very effective. It's hurtful and it affects the relationship. It doesn't actually get the results that we want, and in fact it could have the very opposite effect. So this may mean sometimes it's okay to close our mouth and just like not say anything for a little bit and just reflect inward before we decide to have a response again. Or also, once we have the ability to reflect and really think about where our words are coming from, be willing to fess up, and say, hey, I know I was coming off kind of rude, and I just got some things going on, and I want to own up to it. I want to apologize. Don't be afraid to make amends and to own up to the way that you're acting, or to hold space and say, hey, I understand you may be going through something right now. I'm here for you, and I don't I love you, so I don't want to take this personal. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to be like, hey, I'm not the enemy, I'm here for you. And that will allow yourself or others around you to soften and to communicate a bit more effectively. So now we're going to read the description of this oracle card that I pulled for you for the month of January. So Pisces, we pulled rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, pleasure. Flora is the ancient Roman goddess of spring and flowers. In one myth, she was struck by Cupid's arrow and, overwhelmed with love and completely breathless in a moment of rapture, she called for arrows. However, the sound rose comes out of her mouth instead. So, rose became another word for arrows, and it also became the symbol for love, beauty, and passion. Read another version of the story about Flora naming the rose on page 18. It's another cool little thing if you decide to get into this oracle deck. There's some really cool stuff in here. Many patriarchal religions have placed a shameful cloak around sensuality, sex, pleasure, ecstasy, rapture, and sexuality. One of the most natural, pleasurable parts of life has become conditional and judged. The rose wants us to heal from this and to remember that pleasure, sensuality, sexual preference, and expression of desire can be some of the most sacred, miraculous things about being a human on earth. This card comes with a message about receiving and giving love and pleasure. Flora wants you to know that your sensuality, your passion, and your sexuality, no matter how you identify, are sacred and holy. She wants you to connect with your sensual, true nature and to celebrate this in all people. Rose transmission. My sensuality is sacred and holy. Other people's sensuality is sacred and holy. I open myself up to express and receive love in a way that feels safe and good to me. I release painful programming and experiences and return to love. I absolutely love this card. We deal with this, taboo, oh my gosh, we shouldn't say or talk about that type mindset when it comes to sensuality and sexuality. And it's detrimental to our health. It's harmful, and you can take it however you want. This might mean, it's time for you to go and get some pleasure, or, it may be time for you to, really look inward and figure out where you have, your hang-ups about your sensuality, your sexuality, how you express yourself, and, have that compassion and openness for yourself, and just be willing to understand yourself as well, and allow yourself to just be who you are, and see the beauty in that, and just be you. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. I hope that you come back and do this with me again next month. Hit that notification bell and subscribe so that you can get notified when my next round of videos go out. I hope that January is good to you and that this year is also very good to you. Thanks again. Bye.